Matthew Reilly, The Two Lost Mountains. This is book 6 of the Jack West Jr. series, 404 pages, a mix of Mission Impossible, Uncharted, and Indiana Jones, all wrapped into one. Kind of a historical fiction, globe-trotting adventure, all to save the world. So, there is actually 5 secret sacred mountains hidden under the all over the globe, mostly centered around Europe and Central Asia, that kind of thing. Anyways, 2 of them are lost to history. So the royal conspiracy that behind the scenes is that there's 4 kings who rule the world and are like a shadow government behind the governments who have an enormous amount of wealth that just completely run the world. They also are inheritance of this sacred knowledge of how to save the world from the Omega event. So this is the penultimate book. This is the book right before the finale. The finale is when the Omega event happens, supposedly the end of the world, potentially the universe. We don't know for sure. Find out more. And this is part of that trial. So the key is you have to visit and then perform a fall. So it's underneath a mountain. There is this giant shaft, and there, it's kind of like an obstacle course. You start at the top, trigger it, and then you have to get to the bottom before it reaches the bottom and crashes. So if you do that, you are given entrance into the special secret labyrinth for the great labyrinth for the finale. So Hades doesn't make it. Jack's dark mentor doesn't make it. They end up breaking into the Vatican archives, and this is all preparation for the Great Labyrinth, the one Great Labyrinth, the final book. So the series is kind of coming to a head. The Omega event is prevented by reaching the end of the labyrinth. But there is kind of a sidetrack to this one called the bells. There's these bells that can put everybody to sleep. And this one is the main bad guy is Sphinx. So he is now taken over as like the chief, opponent trying to rule the world. So supposedly preventing the Omega event also involves you ruling the world. So uh, double whammy, save the world and you get to rule it. So globe-trotting adventure. And of course, there is multiple groups trying to accomplish it. There's the Order of the Omega. There's the Knights of the Sacred Eight. And, there's General Raster and his group. There's just everybody. And so you see that Sphinx and Dion team up. So they've kind of got that. And then this Knights of the Golden Eight. So it's just all groups teaming up together, allying, and all working to get to the Great Labyrinth and then finish the Great Labyrinth and rule the world. So I really liked that it was a contest of speed and agility. Like, with the Great Games a few books ago, it was, a king sponsoring, warriors would do all the dirty work. But here it's more of, hey, guess what? You actually have to go do the thing. So I guess you could technically have a warrior do it for you, but then you wouldn't get to rule the world because the warrior would be sitting on the throne. I also liked the crossover Scarecrow, Rufus, Aloysius, the Black Knight. Super awesome. Couldn't be happier. I really enjoyed the adventure, right? Like they didn't know where these 5 mountains were. Some of the royalty, the hidden royalty conspiracy people had guesses, but even they didn't know where the 2 lost mountains were. But overall, there's 5 of them, so you get 5 chances. And it's of course it's a contest. There's a deadline, and of course it involves a celestial event. So just all these things that have to be aligned perfectly. Things I didn't like, I actually didn't like the bells. Like being able to put, to sleep large portions of the population, that seemed, it just seemed like a side quest to me. Like I get it, like if you are ruling the world, you want to be able to silence part of the population instantly, but it almost seemed like a distraction. I did like the nun who was able to come up with a temporary solution to wake people from, with the auditory saline and stuff. So that was super cool. But yeah, I just didn't like the bells. It just didn't seem like it fit nicely to me. I'm not sure. Didn't like the nuclear weapon, right? Preventing somebody from going into a secret mountain, right? You just wipe out the mountain. That's one option. So one of the mountains is destroyed. That's kind of a bummer. But and then I didn't like General Raster. It just seems like no matter how much of a grudge you have against somebody, I feel like you wouldn't have somebody who just wanted to end it all for everybody. That just seems too extreme. But it's a work of fiction, so anything's on the table. It just seemed off to me. So this one is all about the finale. Can't wait to read the finale. Jack West Jr. Series almost over with. This is the second to last book. The Great Labyrinth is the finale. I've been rereading this series to get back up to it, and so I'm really looking forward to it. And remember to buy your books used or digital.